And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, June 27th, 2022. The markets were higher during the Globex session and then basically very quietly lower for most of the day. And that doesn't really change a whole lot, but it does kind of add a layer of what we need to now see and which count is likely going to be in favor to moving the market. So the market will move accordingly to that particular count. So starting here on the daily, I'm leaving it as the intermediate 1, 2, and looking at that this is the beginning phase of intermediate wave 3 down, of which there will be 5 waves of minor degree, and it would appear that we likely have only completed minor wave 1. This is under this particular count. The alternate, which is running in conjunction, so parallel with, is that this is intermediate A and B, and we're coming off in a C wave. I still can use this as a completion point for minor wave 1, but of intermediate wave C. And it puts a whole different spin on what the C wave is going to look like. Now, if I'm using both, and this is minor wave 2, initially putting up some fibs, basically were not correct. I'm going to remove those, and I'm going to replace them with these that make more sense for the move. So here we have what the potential is for a minor wave 2. Minor wave 2 normally comes in at 50 to 62%, and that is 13,211 to 13,717. That would mean the market needs to get a hold of itself and move. If right now it's got above 236, and we should still leave open the possibility of a run up to 12,700. Now we got the 50 in there at 12,506. Now this structure, I'm going to take it down to the hourly so that we can just take a peek. Right now can be A, B, and that's the C. But in that, if that's the case, the expectation would be that it just really will drop. It did a fairly good job on the opening today. And then we had a strong rally, and then it just kind of pooped out until the last hour of trade, where the market did drop below 12,000, but then popped back above and now remains above. So not a whole lot of change, but again, this is not appearing to be very impulsive to me. As you remember what I was discussing yesterday, I was saying that if it starts to come off, it needs to break the 20, the 50, the 200, and basically very quickly. And today I'll say this rather lime green or chartreuse green moving average is a simple 200. So simple moving average 200. So we can see that it is at 11,584. The EMA, and it happens to be a legacy EMA from Thinkorswim, comes in at 11,778. Again, hourly chart. So I'd be expecting it to break these, and particularly the 20 and the 50, without too much problem. And it appeared that it was going to do that, parked itself right at that 50 and turned higher. Now, what does that tell me? Basically, if we come back down and break it, that we maybe are falling in an impulse, but right now it does not appear impulsive, which would leave it corrective. And then it's kind of an ABC 4, and then we're still going to run up 5 to just complete this little scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have a 5. So on one hand, it's not happened yet, but if this does come through, then the larger count would be cleaner as a 5 wave rally off of that low, off of this low at 11,068, it would be better counted as 5 waves up. And that would come in as 1, 2, 3, and this is a 4, and we still have a 5. That's going to make 5 up, and that leaves this as the A wave, which gives stronger strength to that it is a minor 1, and this is a minor 2, and then we really do need to be looking for higher levels over the coming days. Now, does it get up that high? I don't truly can't say, because we have to get past that 50 and then of course this lower level. But if it does 5 and then A, B, C, then yes, it would be a 5 for wave A. We would do a 3 leg for wave B of that minor 2, and then another 5 up to finish the C wave. That's going to take some time to unfold, and that pushes us likely the balance of this week into next week. So there's all kinds of reasons that they can hang on to it. They've done a pretty good job of it this far. And the powers that be, the market that is, it sure can stay there. What we will needs to see from here, if it does not break above this, that's 12,262 current high for the sequence. Then if it continues to drop on the daily, break below the 20, and we've got the 4 and the 8 cruising higher, getting ready. The 4 is getting ready to break the 20. That'll give a little bit of oomph to buyers moving in and continuing to take it higher. A break below those 2 should be an easy trip down to the 8 with an eventual break as the market continues. That's what I still would need to see to put this more in perspective of being A, B, C, and completing this toe up to here. Now, there's still, it could be wave A of minor 2, and then we get a B wave and still a C wave, but I wouldn't be looking for the higher levels. I'd be looking for this to cap out somewhere down here. Even with this being 3 and the 3 and then a 5. It's more would be a flat versus a zigzag. And when I mean zigzag, it's like zig, zag. And a flat is A, B, C, flat. And in its current position, I would not break into a triangle, not in a wave 2. But it can be a flat and then move on. So, in any case, I think that we're getting a little bit on the daily up into overbought. So we could continue to pull down. We have enough. So there is a possibility that it comes in very short. But again, we have been here many, many times during all of these corrective periods. We've been where it's coming in, particularly right here. And then again, right here. Where it's coming in weak, and then suddenly they just blast. And again, coming in weak, and then they blast. So here again, they did a good blast. Still going to leave us a little bit weak on levels that we need to see in order to continue the rally. So it's going to be interesting. Weakness would show that we've got something big coming. That's what I'm talking about. To show the weakness, it really has to start to break and go. And that's pretty much what would be involved under this particular view of it, to just drop. Because the next move would be just that. But I think that what's coming is going to be a little bit more where it's like, it's going to turn into a 5, and then we're going to be, and then we'll get another 5. So it'll be 5, 3, 5. Zig, zag. And it will be labeled as minor wave 2, and then we'll fall off the cliff. So under those particular views, we do have upside potential. We have upside potential up to 13,700, to be honest with you. And then we've got the 200, the EMA 200 at 13,936. So we've got a whole lot more points to the upside should it decide to dig in its heels and go. Is that what I'm looking for? Not necessarily. Will I trade it? You bet. It will be very tradable because it'll be one way. The buyers are there to do whatever they're doing, even if it's a part of a reallocating. There's a lot of reallocation going on, from my understanding, in the Russell, which held the Russell up all day, while the others fluctuated and basically closed lower. So again, market's going to tell us we have upside potential. It could come quick, but when it does, you're going to get bars like this. And you just take them. This was Friday. It had purpose. There was buyers that needed to push. Inside day, but with a new high, not necessarily inside, but a little bit of a consolidation, ready for the next little run up. Upside, it should find resistance at 12,506, and it could finish the small wave A, and then we get a retreat back down to these levels, and then, but in 3 waves, and then a turn, and then an additional 5 up. That's kind of what I am basically going to expect. And I'm hoping we get it by next week. Okay, so downside, it needs to show it and break and not have any problems, just taking it all out. Upside, we know what the story is. Next update will be on Tuesday, the 28th.